Tonight, when the sun goes down, you're going to flip a switch. Light will flood the room. You won't think twice about it. But for 99.9% of human history, that switch didn't exist. When the sun set, the world went dark. You feel a chill. Your skin pricks. Your eyes strain against the deep shadows creeping across the bedroom floor. It is a universal human experience. Why does an empty room feel so terrifying without light? Your apartment is locked. Your walls are solid. No physical threat can realistically breach your modern home tonight, yet your heart accelerates. Is your mind playing tricks on you? The answer is far older than your house. It is buried deep within your genetic code. You are carrying a survival mechanism. It was forged in blood. For millions of years, humans were not the undisputed masters of the earth. We were small, slow primates roaming an incredibly hostile landscape. We had no claws. We had no venom. Our only real superpower was our vision. During the day, we could spot danger from a mile away. We tracked food across wide open savannas. We coordinated complex social strategies using facial expressions. Light was our shield. What happened when that shield vanished? The night transformed the world entirely. The savanna became a landscape of invisible teeth. You were completely blind in the shadows, but your predators were not. Dr. Craig Packer spent decades studying the hunting behavior of lions in East Africa. His landmark research uncovered something chilling about the relationship between darkness and human survival. He discovered that lion attacks on humans spike dramatically during the darkest phases of the lunar cycle. When the moon is full, humans are safe. When the moon goes dark, the hunting begins. Your ancestors knew this instinctively. They feared the dark because the dark was when they were eaten alive. The fear was not an irrational phobia. It was an accurate calculation of risk. You are the descendant of the primates who stayed near the fire. The brave ones who ventured into the dark did not return. They did not pass on their genes. Your DNA was written by the survivors who trembled in caves. This ancestral trauma shapes your modern psychology. Dr. Martin Antony, a professor of psychology, has investigated how this ancient programming manifests today. He argues that humans do not actually fear the literal absence of photons. We fear the absolute absence of information. The dark blinds your primary defense system. How can you defend against a threat you cannot see? Your brain despises the data vacuum. When it cannot find real information, it manufactures its own. It populates the shadows with monsters. Every small sound becomes an apex predator. A creaking floorboard is transformed into a stealthy intruder. A coat rack becomes a crouching beast. This hypervigilance is an evolutionary strategy. Consider the math of survival. If you mistake a tree branch for a leopard, you run away. You are safe, but slightly embarrassed. What happens if you mistake a leopard for a tree branch? You are eliminated from the gene pool. Evolution prefers a false positive over a fatal negative. It programmed you to be paranoid. It forces you to assume the worst. Are you losing your mind, or is your brain just trying to keep you alive? Dr. Thomas Ollendick has spent his career studying childhood anxieties and developmental milestones. He notes that the fear of the dark peaks naturally between the ages of 4 and 6. This is exactly when a child's imagination expands. Their brain is suddenly capable of conceptualizing hidden dangers. The closet becomes a prehistoric cave. The modern bedroom is a mirror of the ancient wilderness. The plush blanket becomes a fragile shield against the unknown. We never truly outgrow this childhood response. We simply learn to hide it better as adults. We build massive cities of glass and neon to banish the night. We light up our highways with amber rows of lamps. We stare at glowing screens until the early morning hours. We are desperate to keep the void at bay. Look at a satellite image of the Earth at night. You will see a glowing web of artificial fire spanning across continents. This is our collective defense mechanism. We have armored our entire civilization against the shadows. Why are we still so terrified of what lies beyond the glow? We are trying to outrun our own biology. We are attempting to override millions of years of evolutionary pressure with a handful of LED light bulbs. The modern world changed in a century. Your amygdala has not changed in hundreds of thousands of years. The ancient architecture of your mind remains completely intact. It still watches the corners of your room. It still listens to the silence. It remembers the predators that hunted your ancestors in the tall grass. When you turn off the lights, the modern world slips away. The thin veneer of civilization dissolves into the dark. You are suddenly exposed to the ancient elements. Your nervous system floods your veins with cortisol and adrenaline. You prepare for a battle that never comes. The exhaustion sets in, but your eyes remain wide open. You are trapped in a time capsule of ancestral dread. Logic cannot save you here. Your conscious mind knows that your house is perfectly secure. It knows that monsters do not exist under the bed. But logic is a very recent human invention. Evolution had a massive head start. When the shadows lengthen, the old brain takes full control. It silences your rational thoughts. Think about the sheer weight of time. For every single year, we have lived in safe, illuminated, modern homes. We spent 1,000 years sleeping in the dirt. We listened to the snapping of twigs in the dark wilderness. We prayed for the morning sun to rise. The fear of the dark is a reminder of our true place in nature. It tells us that we were once vulnerable. It shows us that we are fragile, soft-skinned, and easily broken. So you reach out your hand. You press the plastic toggle on your wall. The room immediately floods with synthetic light, and the ancient monsters vanish into thin air. You take a deep breath. You feel safe once again, but the ancient truth remains buried just beneath your skin, waiting patiently for the next power outage. Tonight, when the sun goes down, you'll flip that switch not to escape the monsters in the dark, but to blindingly hide from the ancient truth of what you truly are.